All right, guys, welcome to another amazing episode of Edit Career Schools, The Scoop with your host, K.A.T. So you guys know how I love to represent my graduates. So today I have an amazing, inspirational young lady with me. Her name is Aja Hemingway. She is a graduate of American Institute. Hey, Aja.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm blessed.
I hear that. All right. So, Aja, first off, I want to say congratulations because you actually graduated just a couple weeks ago, correct?
Good.
I commend you because there's so many students that do not make it to the finish line. So talk to me about your journey. Where did it begin? What brought you to American Institute?
So it's crazy. Um, when COVID happened, so right before COVID, I was working in the school system and I was the senior program and partnership coordinator at Westside High School. And when COVID happened, they basically let us know that, they don't need us anymore because everything that we do is hands on.
Exactly.
So in the midst of that, I'm like, well, what am I going to do? I don't want to collect unemployment. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like, what is going on right now? You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, what's next? So I'm very spiritual, and during that time, I was meditating. I was cleaning my house every other day, switching rooms around, reading my Bible, doing certain things, watching my services online, and
Mhm.
God told me to apply. He was like, you need to go to school to be a massage therapist. And I always been good with my hands because I was a professional athlete. So I've been an athlete all my life.
Ah.
So he was like, go to school. And I always been nervous. I always was like, everybody know me for a basketball player and, being a teacher or being in the
Mhm.
school, being just, being a positive impact on students, especially student athletes. And he was like, no, I need you to go back. You need to apply. So I was just driving one day,
Uh-huh.
literally driving in a car, and I just Googled the closest massage school near me,
School.
and American Institute popped up, and I was like, okay. So I just went and I applied at a red light. At a red light, I literally
Nice.
I just put it in, like at a red light, and then I was in a little traffic, and next thing you know, Asia calls me.
Aja, good old Aja.
She was like, did you apply? I want to say it was the same day. The same day. And I was like, I just applied.
Oh, we're quick with it.
Oh my gosh. I was like, I just applied. She was like, you have my same name. And I was like, what? You got my name. She was like, no, I'm older. She was just so like it was just so genuine.
Mhm.
So I was like, okay, God, now you got a real sense of humor. Because I'm a little stubborn, a little something. So I was like,
Mhm.
I want to meet her. Like instantly, I said, I want to meet her. Like you got my name, we connected.
Uh-huh.
In the midst of us connecting, like I was already going through a transition in terms of God purging me to want more, to
Mhm.
level up, and I seen it, but I was feeling it at the same time. And
Mhm.
so when me and her was talking, next thing you know, I just started busting out crying, like, thank you, God. It was
Yeah.
just so like the way it happened, it was just so amazing. Like it
Wow.
was like he was just waiting for me to make that initiative step for him to
Mhm.
open so many doors. And I had no clue.
Wow. That's awesome. Look, when God tells you to move, you better move.
Man, and he
And then everything always falls into place if you
everything
actually
else
listen to
falls
that
in.
voice.
You have to listen to that voice.
Oh man, that is amazing. So you applied the same exact day? Wow. See, this is why I always say when you're talking to students, right, you have to be genuine in your delivery. I know you've probably spoken to tons of schools before that because you went to a 4-year college as well, right?
Yes.
Yep. And you have students who call and they're like, yeah, I already know the game. I know the deal. But you always are able to find that one person where it's like, this is something bigger. I think this is God connecting us.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
It's
So that's
so
how it started.
exactly. Oh, that's awesome. That's an amazing story. Wow. So
Thank you.
I'm just like taken aback. I mean, what are the odds that the person actually has your same name and you guys connected on a totally different level? It's crazy. He does have a sense of humor. But you actually went to a 4-year college as well.
I did.
Okay, what were you studying?
Communications.
Interesting. So, what would you say you found as the major difference between the two? Because, both have something to offer to different people. What would you say is the major difference?
The difference is uh at a career school, it's more like they're more involved. You know what I mean? I could feel the passion. Like at the big schools, it's all about money. You
Mm,
know what I mean? And for me, thank God, I was blessed with a athletic scholarship. You know what I mean? So I didn't have, but I had friends and
got
I had, family who went through the process of not being not really getting the love and the attention that I got from you guys.
wow.
I got the love because I was an athlete, but outside looking in and looking back at it, they don't genuinely care. They just want you, it's just a piece of paper. You know what I mean? When it comes to a career, you know what I mean? You shouldn't have to put in so much time. And to be honest, all those classes wasn't really needed. Look at me now. I had to
Yeah.
come back and go to a school and I had to pay out of my own pocket. You know what I mean? Just how God worked. Like, yeah, you did
Uh-huh.
that, but that wasn't really what I needed you to do. I need you to
Yeah.
understand. And it's like when you go to a career school, you guys are more like it's more like it's like I'm connected to you guys. And it's very personable
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's not a big old universe.
I get it. I
But
get it.
and that's the part that I enjoyed the most. Like if you flunk out of college, they're not trying to figure out what's going on. You just got to pay your debt.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah,
With
definitely.
with the career schools, it's like, what happened?
Yeah.
What can we do to fix it? How can we make sure you pass these classes? And with me, I took everything very personable because I have a learning disability. And I
Mm-hmm.
didn't find out until I was in college. So I
Oh,
couldn't read or
wow.
write till I didn't find I couldn't read or write till I was in my 20s. When I got to college, I was 18 and I had a computer reading to me. My tutor was reading to me and I
Interesting.
needed 4 hours or more to take my test. So those the university look at you. You are so
And no, I get it. I'm trying to imagine you with a reading disability and then in that type of setting where you don't have that one-on-one attention.
girl. And
Wow,
I was
and you
at Georgia
overcame.
Tech
Mm-hmm.
in Syracuse.
Wow. And you overcame.
And I overcame.
You overcame. It's interesting that you have that take because I too went to both university and career school. And one of the reasons why I left the university is because I didn't feel as if I was getting a one-on-one attention. I do understand that there are certain careers where you do need that piece of paper. You need a degree. You want to be a CPA, a doctor, a lawyer, you have to go through the process, right? But then you have the career paths where it's like, I just give me the skills because I need to work right now.
That's it.
And it is more
It's
personable
more
because when you disappear, oh, you're getting that call. Excuse me, I don't see you log in today. Where you at? you know,
that.
it's so I totally get it.
And that's the part I enjoyed the most.
Hmm.
Like, and it was like because I was in school for a while. I was in school during COVID because I told you I applied during COVID
Hmm.
and things was virtual.
Yeah.
And I have a learning disability, so I can't process stuff like that. And because I'm good with my hands, being
Uh-huh.
that I always been good with my hands,
Yeah.
I was like, this ain't gonna help me. We gotta figure out a way how I can get on campus all the time, and
Oh,
that's where they helped me. They was
mhm.
like, okay, so you need to be accommodated. You know what I mean? And I think that was one of the things that I introduced to the career schools. Like,
Mhm.
okay, it is certain ones who may need a little more assistance
Yes.
or who may need. So I shook the room a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And that was the best part because in the midst of me shaking the room, they made sure they gave me what I needed.
That is amazing. And this is why I love career education. I love it. I think it's way more personable. A lot of times when you're applying for a four-year university, sometimes it's just a minimum criteria that you need to meet in order to get into the school, right? But then I've been to colleges where it's like me and a thousand other people, and
Yes.
you're called by a number, and it's like number
Number.
45. What do you think is the answer? And it's like 45. My name is Kat. Like, but everything is not for everyone,
Mm.
right? So there are a small percentage of people who career schools, well, not career schools, university is perfect, right up your alley, because it really depends on what you're going for. But I think career education is very important because single moms, people who need to make money right away, they need that education and skills so that they can make an immediate change
And
in
then
their life.
sometimes, and then, but then at the same time, you don't have to go to a 4-year college to learn how to be a massage therapist,
No,
to
you
be
don't.
a dental assistant. You understand what I'm saying? To
Yep.
be a nurse assistant, and you can still make a good amount of money. And then in the midst of you get going to career school to get those certain degrees, I
Mhm.
mean, certain licenses, you put yourself in a position where now you go to a job and they will pay for you to go to school.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
it's like, come on. Like, don't do that to people. Like, don't make people feel like this is the only way.
Hmm.
Because it's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because everybody plan is different. Some people was moms at a young age, like you said, so
Yep.
they need to get that money quick. And in the midst of them taking that step, so many doors open up. As long as you really stay pure and you stay passionate about what you're doing.
Hmm. And everyone learns differently, so
I
some
can
people
say
need to
that
learn in
again.
a smaller setting. I'm the type of person I like to be in the front of the class where I can raise my hand, where I need to talk to you as many times as I need to.
And I
And
know, and
so,
I was that person because I needed you. No, I need y'all to slow it down just a little bit. I need to make sure this makes sense to me because I learned differently.
yeah.
So when I was at the universities, they would take me out of class and put me separate. But now y'all taking away from me actually, getting the experience.
Wow. I totally get it. And I'm right there with you. I know as a student, sometimes it's easier said than done to
Mm.
start something and then just go right through with it and complete it, right? Because there's always different obstacles that come in your way to put a wrench in your plan, right?
Right.
What were some of the challenges or obstacles you experienced where that enemy was trying to get in there and stop you from pursuing what God put in your way?
I would definitely say the virtual classes when COVID happened. We had some classes that was online,
Hmm.
and then we had some classes that was on campus. Unfortunately, I felt the classes that was online
Online.
because I couldn't learn that way. As bad as I tried, it wasn't good for me.
Hmm.
Like, so I had to really buckle down and say, you know what? You ain't about to win.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to come back. And the best part about all that was I don't know I don't give up.
Yeah.
So even though, COVID happened, it was like, oh, you felt this class or you felt that class. And I was like, I don't care. I'm coming back.
Wow.
I'm coming back because ain't no COVID gonna stop what God
Hmm.
had planned for me. You know what I mean? And then at times, when I think I actually caught COVID and I missed a couple weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when
Hmm.
I mean COVID really hit different, it was one of those, I was like, no. God had me apply during COVID for a reason.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying?
And he brought you to
And
it.
he
He
brought
brought
me
you
through,
through it.
and he brought me to it, and he brought me through it. So it was like, no, I don't care. Like he put it on my heart that it got to get done, so it's
Hmm.
gonna get done. Like and that was definitely that was a blessing. Like a couple of times, um, like the teacher, like I had a couple teachers who was really really good, but they
Hmm.
couldn't really like they couldn't really connect with me.
Okay.
Everybody don't know how to deal with kids who got
Hmm.
students who got disabilities,
Yeah.
so it was very challenging for them.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
Oh
So the way that God moved, I like I got different teachers, and then my around the last when I had to be on campus
Mm-hmm.
for the classes that I felt, it was
Mm-hmm.
someone who knew how to teach me.
Got it. Got
You
it.
understand what I'm saying? So the devil wanted me to stop once COVID had because he knew once I got on campus, I
Oh, yeah,
was
it
going
was
to
gonna be a
receive
wrap.
everything. I was going to receive everything that I needed. So I
Uh-huh.
didn't allow it to stop me in the moment I got on because I was nervous. I said, I'm gonna have these same teachers. You know what I mean?
This is not gonna work.
This ain't gonna work for me.
Lord, send me somebody else.
And it's not a bad thing because
Mhm.
I just learned different.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? They know they wasn't bad teachers,
Mm-hmm.
but I know how I learned. And it was like, okay, well, I had to go through that. And the devil tried to stop me saying, you're gonna get, you're gonna get intimidated and you're gonna get threatened, you're gonna get upset. Mm-mm. And then when I get on campus, I got a completely different teacher who know how to teach me with my disability.
Wow, he knows what you need. He
He
brought you there, right?
brought
But it's funny because that's something that a lot of students need to hear. Because if anybody else was in your situation, a lot of students they would have already thrown in the towel and thought of it like, you know what, this is a sign. If this is happening, it's a sign that I'm not supposed to move forward.
Mhm.
But instead, you were able to say, no, 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 no. I'm here for a reason because I felt it within my core that I was brought here. And so, all right, I understand. In order for you to get through some storms, you need to be tested.
Capacity,
So this is a test, and I'm about to pass it. I
period.
love that. I love that. I really, really hope that a lot of students who are going through the same thing are able to hear your story because it's very important. And so let me ask you this. What would you say were some of the major takeaways from being a student at American Institute?
Some of the takeaways that I received is having those relationships with the staff.
Mm,
You know what I mean? You know how you got the dean of student, the dean,
uh-huh.
like you go through so many professors, like, and I don't even know none of them. That personal relationship, they give you, we in group chats, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like they text us, like I still have every single one of my teachers' numbers. You know what I mean? Like that's the best takeaway. Like I can always call them regardless of where I'm at in my life.
That's amazing. I love that because a lot of schools don't offer those type of resources,
Mm.
and I think that's what prevents a lot of students from moving forward because they don't have that support, and it looks like American Institute gave you what you needed to feel like you were a part.
The
And I
part.
think that's what's missing. A lot of students do not feel as if they're a part of the institution. So if you feel like an outsider, what happens? Eventually you leave. You leave because you feel like no one cares. Is there anything that you think career schools can do better to make the experience better for their students?
Um, I would definitely say with massage school, like with
Mhm.
massage therapy, like if we going through something like a COVID, like don't instantly assume that all kids can learn online.
Mm,
You understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like massage therapy is hands-on for a reason.
yeah.
Some kids are more visual and they want to be, in a school. So, sometimes you may have to take, some type of loss in certain areas or give those kids the opportunity to say, this is how it is. Are you going to be prepared for that? Kind of like letting them know or like going through a screening to know if they do have a learning disability, would this be something that would be beneficial for them? That's the only thing that I would say because like I said, I had to shake the room to introduce that to them because so many people be ashamed and they just try to, finesse the system in the best way they can
Yeah,
to figure things out. Or like you said, they just give up.
yeah.
I didn't give up.
You sure didn't.
I did not give up.
You sure
If
didn't. You know
I
what?
have
I
to
love
be the
that.
one, if I
Mhm.
have to be the one to be uncomfortable, to let y'all know certain things need to be handled a certain way in terms of me having a learning disability, then so be it. Because guess what? Me being the person that I am, now that I know you guys are giving those accommodations, I'm going to make sure when I go back to these high schools that I used to work at,
Mm.
you can't
Let
go
'em
to these
know.
colleges.
Uh-huh.
Listen, American Institute is going to accommodate you for the things that you having a challenge with.
Mhm.
And this is how it go because I experienced it. And the fact that, and the fact that they didn't have it,
Mhm.
it was like, okay, makes sense. Now we know.
Interesting. So you're saying that during COVID, it would have been better if they would have done some type of screening, and if certain students like yourself would say, you know what, I don't think that this is the best learning environment for me. Kind of put those students on break until these schools reopen, so you get an opportunity to be back in the classroom.
That part.
Got it. All right. I actually love that because it's better to it's better to put something on hold than to fail. And I could only imagine you did not feel good
I,
when you failed those
I was so
classes.
discouraged.
Yeah.
I was so discouraged.
Hmm.
I was so mad because I'm like, why? I cried
Yeah.
on many days. Like, why am I here? What am I doing?
Wow.
I'm pulling my hair out. I'm like, I'm sitting in front of this computer. I can't sit still. I'm like, do I got ADHD? Like, I know I have dyslexia, but do I got ADHD? Like, what is going on? Like, so many things start going on, and that wasn't nothing but the devil
Yeah. Oh
trying,
yeah. I was.
trying to force me. And it was like, nah,
Hmm.
and that's when church started opening up, and I just kept praying, and I was like, the devil is a lie. Y'all ain't gonna get me. Mm-mm.
And he knows your weaknesses and he tries to play
And
on
he
them.
try to play it and use it against you. And
Yeah.
so many people give into that.
Yep. Yep.
And
And
I'm
I'm
letting
happy
you
you did it.
know, don't do it. And that's why they say I Asian. You are the one. I'm like, you better let them know. I tell everybody. Whoever need to know.
Oh man, I love it. Where do you actually see the future of career education in your opinion?
I actually see it doing really, really, really well. If more, if more like high schools
Hmm.
knew that so many people can be successful through career
Yeah.
education. You understand what I'm saying? People kind of downgrade it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And that's not fair to you guys because you guys are actually, in my opinion, better than those 4 years. Less money. You understand what I'm saying?
Number one.
And more attention. You know what I mean? Like even when you done with school, I still got the opportunity to go back to refresh my brain in certain areas. Like they don't do that.
Yeah.
Once you're done, you're done.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I've had instructors tell me, just to let you know, I'm gonna get paid for this regardless if
Regardless.
so, and I'm like, wow, you address the class this way. And I'm not saying all instructors are bad because I've had some amazing instructors when I was going to a 4 year college. But for the most part, that's their mentality. And I've experienced it so many times. And there was a total difference when I actually switched over to a career school. But once again, that was for me. That's how I wanted to learn. It's not the same for everyone. So, do you have any final thoughts or advice for our listeners, Aisha?
I would definitely say don't ever get discouraged. What's meant for you is going to be for you. Don't allow nobody to have you look no other way. Have a tunnel vision. And whatever you feel in your core, you stick to that. And you don't don't ever give up on yourself because who gonna be there for you when you really need it the most? Only you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. And I know a lot of people are going to be inspired. What's next for you, Aisha? Aha, loaded question.
Oh man. So
Let me pull out my scroll.
so in the midst of me going to school,
Mhm.
I have a friend who I went to, we was teammates at Georgia Tech. And I was putting on Instagram, I'm all excited about being in school and, being a massage therapist. And her brother plays in the NFL
Oh, wow.
for the Jets.
What? Okay.
She was like, Asia, my brother need a massage. And I was like, yo, I ain't licensed yet, but I'll come get a massage though. I gave him his massage. I've been doing his massages since.
What?
He knew I was in school. He started recommending me to others.
Oh my gosh. Look at God. Wow.
And now that I'm done with school,
Hmm.
I've been getting calls from the guys on the Giants. I've
What?
been,
Whew, You just made my hair stand up. Okay. Wow.
And I'm like, God, I'm not even done with school yet. And I was like, look at you, moving mountains in my face, letting me know you better not give up. You'll be a fool. You'll be a fool. And but I mean, and I let them know, and I was like, listen, whatever you guys can give it's on you. And they was like, well, this is what you deserve.
Wow.
And here I am getting $200 while I'm in school, while I'm on unemployment, trying to, like, God, when I mean,
you already know He's gonna take care of your needs. I mean, look where you came from, Aisha, and look what you're doing now, and look where you're headed. That's amazing. Don't ever give up. Look, it's not going to go away. That fear is not going to go away. Those times where you feel like throwing in the towel is not going to go away. Just know that they're tests. Just know that is the enemy trying to keep you from pursuing, your purpose, right? And you've already overcome these obstacles, right? It's already done.
They said new levels, new devils.
Exactly, right? That's a good one. I'm stealing that. I write that down. New levels, new devils. Okay.
So that's kind of where I'm at now. I did not know where I was going, and God let me know in the midst of me going through my adversity, in the midst of me going through school, in the midst of me thinking I was going crazy, like, what am I doing during COVID? He was like, this is what I need from you. So from me being a professional athlete to turning around to taking care of professional athletes as a massage therapist is a blessing.
That's amazing.
So now you know. So
now
God,
I know.
so God willing, you'll see me at somebody's organization being a massage therapist.
Oh, I'm gonna see you on TV across the board. I already know that. I can see it. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Aisha. I'm super proud of you. Your story is very inspirational, and I know it's going to touch hundreds of people who are going to listen to this podcast. You have to come back again. All right.
Of course. You got my information, girl. I ain't going nowhere. The same way y'all personable with us. I ain't going nowhere. And God willing, I'll be able to bring more students to you guys who I know, that's good, that get discouraged when they hear that 4-year school and start seeing them dollar signs. So
absolutely,
I'm here for it.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you for joining us today, Aisha.
You're welcome.
You're doing amazing things, girl.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us today. If you would like to set up a free demo for your enrollment team, don't forget to head on over to lessons.motivatewithkat.com. This training is 1 year unlimited access for your enrollment advisors, and it's filled with tons of interactive videos, presentations. I'm giving it all away. They're getting all of my downloadable tools that will bring them immediate results. So if you are looking to take your team to the next level, don't forget, once again, that website is lessons.motivatewithkat.com. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Till next time, later.